Come, let us explore the end of emotional walls as the path to inner peace. Let us begin by chanting. Please chant with me thrice. The nudity of the archetypical couple sporting and tantric union reminds us of the vulnerability so crucial to mindfulness. The nudity of the archetypical couple sporting and tantric union reminds us of the vulnerability so crucial to mindfulness. What follows is going to make much more sense if we explore mindfulness through the lens of neuroscience. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we have evolved to effortlessly access our sympathetic nervous system ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord. This bad boy has evolved to help us to notice in a very special way. It has evolved to help us notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. To notice whatever comes up, whether what comes up is a sight or a sound or a sensation or a flavor or a scent, or if what comes up is an emotion, or an intention or a thought or a memory or an imagining. Whether that which comes up is external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. But what about concentration, you might ask? Since the Neolithic Revolution, the majority of societies have conditioned the majority of citizens to be rigid, fearful, superstitious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. The Buddha's great revolution was instead choosing to be flexible, loving, rational, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. So what happens when we give free rein to our rigidity? Those who do endorse active concentration as well as active analysis. Let's focus on active concentration. You could call it concentration, you could call it focus, you could call it shamatha, whatever language you prefer. But either way, the only mechanisms, the only neural pathways available to us to practice active concentration are in very specific, discrete regions of the brain, such as the medial prefrontal cortex. The more rigid we are, the more we exhaust our prefrontal cortex, the more we trigger our amygdala, the seat of both anxiety and aggression. Anxiety and aggression are the price we pay for being controlling, being self-protecting, being a slave to our fear. The opposite of that, the opposite of this legacy, is to rely upon our sympathetic nervous system, which is wired to be the polar opposite of the rigidity and fear necessary for concentration. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, it is wired to help us to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly. And we are reminded of this in tantric art. There are many objects of tantric art, often demonstrating, with whose figures are often depicted as wearing jeweled ornaments. However, in this tantric art, both figures are naked of both clothes as well as ornamentation, with nothing to hide behind, which not only is a fun way to spend date night, but is a wonderful metaphor of the vulnerability which is crucial to be the happy, peaceful, loving person that our dog already thinks we are. This concludes our opening lesson. What I would like to do next is prepare for this evening's meditation practice. It is Qui-Gon Jinn Tuesday evening. Come, let us meditate like a Jedi after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each school of meditation so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friend, to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. Welcome to the first quarter of this evening's Mindful Crease Counting meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply this by 8 sets and you'll have 96 inhalations. We could keep track of those 8 sets on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 12 inhalations each. To keep track of this, our first quarter, we could rest the great knuckle at the base of our right little finger. On second thought, let's do something different. On second thought, let's rest our great knuckle at the base of our right index finger, upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. Let us review. When we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we enhance our awareness, the practice of mindfulness. The Tibetans describe this as watching the antics of mind. When we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we could relax into the non-graspable nature of what it is that we noticed during the previous inhalation. Come, let us practice together right now. Good evening. Welcome to the second quarter of Mindful Crease Counting Meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply this by 8 sets, and you'll have 96 inhalations. We could keep track of those 8 sets on our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 12 inhalations each. How are we going to keep track of this, our second quarter of tonight's practice? By resting the great knuckle at the base of our right middle finger, upon the tip of our left middle finger, palms up in our lap. Please chant with me. The translucence of the archetype of the all-good father and mother depicted in paintings reminds us of meditation's experience of impermanence and non-graspability. The translucence of the archetype of the all-good father and mother depicted in paintings reminds us of meditation's experience of impermanence and non-graspability. The translucence of the archetype of the all-good father and mother depicted in paintings reminds us of meditation's experience of impermanence and non-graspability. Let's start with a bit of review. Every time we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, with the assistance of our sympathetic nervous system, we vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, and fleetingly notice mind's antics of perception, emotion, intention, cognition, recollection, and imagination. That's right, guys. Our job is not to repress mind. Our job is to let mind do its thing, but we're keeping an eye on it, like a indulgent grandfather sitting on the bench at a park watching his grandchildren playing in the sandbox. And now let's take a deeper dive. Let us explore meditation through the lens of neuroscience. Every time we exhale, whether we know it or not, we are wired to automatically access the parasympathetic nervous system, divided between the lower third and the upper third of our spinal cord. This parasympathetic nervous system is evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release. It's so efficient that it helps us to let go of what we noticed during our previous inhalation, whether that which we noticed was external or internal, physical or mental, pleasurable or painful, interesting or boring, glorious or grotesque. In fact, we let go of it to such a degree that it could feel as if it was as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Harken back to 4th grade, when we learned about figures of speech, and we were taught that a simile is only as effective as it is relatable. Therefore, we have to ask the question, what is a real-world example of a non-graspable, vast empty void? We need to look no further than the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although being tantalizing to the eye, is rather non-graspable to the hand. And so there you have it. Emptiness, voidness, they're just figures of speech for the physiological sensations latent within every exhalation. A process we describe as meditation. So together as a team, let us practice mindfulness and meditation right now. One moment. Welcome to the third quarter of this evening's mindful crease counting meditation. Over the span of 12 inhalations, we could advance our right thumb in the following manner, beginning with our little finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Multiply this by 8 and you've got 96 inhalations. We could keep track of those 8 sets upon our left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets of 12 inhalations each. We could keep track of this, our third quarter, by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right ring finger upon the tip of our left ring finger, palms up in our lap. Doing this could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce in the navel region of our mid-abdomen. Please chant with me. The beauty of the archetype sky blue kuntu zong po and cloud white kuntu zong mo yam byum remind us of the highest love, spontaneous and uncontrived. The beauty of the archetype sky blue kuntu zong po and cloud white kuntu zong mo yam byum remind us of the highest love, spontaneous and uncontrived. The beauty of the archetype sky blue kuntu zong po and cloud white kuntu zong mo yam byum remind us of the highest love, spontaneous and uncontrived. By way of review, when we silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, or I should say silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalations facilitates our awareness of mind's antics. Silently and mentally reciting the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation helps us to relax into mind's non-graspable nature. Let us keep track of the fourth quarter of this evening's mindful crease counting meditation by resting the great knuckle at the base of our right index finger, upon the tip of our left index finger, palms up in our lap. Doing so could gently invite our real or imagined subtle energies to coalesce at the crown region of our head. Please chant with me. So I'm going to do a quick edit. Please bear with me. Whoops, that was an accident. Did it again. Okay, here we go. I do appreciate your patience. Thank you very much. At last. Okay, here we go. The stability with which a archetype's God moves among the that sits in the abundant with which cloud with among the that sports reminds us of the effortless effort of centered spontaneity. The stability with which the archetype sky blue Samantha Bandra sits in the abandon with which cloud white Samantha Bandri sports reminds us of the effortless effort of centered spontaneity. The stability with which the archetype sky blue Samantha Bandra sits reminds us of the let's try this again. Excuse me. The stability with which the archetype sky blue Samantha Bandra sits in the abandon with which cloud white Samantha Bandri sports reminds us of the effortless effort of centered spontaneity. If you've just joined, when we by silently and mentally reciting the demonstrative pronoun this during our inhalation, we cooperate with our sympathetic nervous system in such a way as to vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, fleetingly notice mind's antics. When we silently and mentally recite the one-syllable verb ease during our exhalation, we cannot help but cooperate with our parasympathetic nervous system in a way that helps us relax into mind's non-graspable nature. Let's practice. You have taken your first step into a much larger world. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 11 hours, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's early morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.